Hi there everyone, welcome to this Heroes Day edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson and I'm piloting you through today's pages as we celebrate our proud and bold heritage as a people. We're sharing messages of inspiration from the nation's leaders and reflections on the life journey of a few of our national heroes, plus a lot more to unfold right after this important message.
Our heritage is more than history. It's our voice, our power, our future. This September to October, the JIS invites you to join our 2025 Heritage Competition. This year's theme is Our Heritage, Our Voice, Honoring the Struggles, Protecting the Future.
Primary school students, write an essay celebrating the achievements of Jamaicans. Share how we can honor their legacy and protect the future of our nation. Secondary school students, create a poster that reflects the strength of our people and your vision for safeguarding Jamaica's tomorrow. Tertiary students, capture it all in a photograph that tells the story of our people and our future. Enter for a chance to win amazing prizes and have your creativity celebrated across Jamaica.
Submit your entries to our website www.jis.gov.jm by October 24. Grab your pens, your paintbrushes, and your camera and let your voice be heard in the JIS Heritage Competition.
In our celebration of National Heroes Day, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness delivers his message of hope and strength for building a prosperous nation, drawing on the heroism and resilience of a people with a proud and bold heritage.
My fellow Jamaicans, on this Heroes Day, we stand as one people, proud and free, to celebrate the spirit that built our nation. Ours is a story written in courage and conviction, a heritage born of struggle, guided by faith, and carried forward by generations of Jamaicans who refused to give up on the promise of this blessed island. When we speak of a proud and bold heritage, we speak of men and women who changed the course of history. We think of Paul Bogle, whose courage in the face of injustice taught us that freedom demands sacrifice. We remember George William Gordon, whose faith in fairness and good governance reminds us that leadership must serve the people, not power. We honor Nanny of the Maroons, whose resilience and strategic brilliance show that freedom must be defended with wisdom and unity. We celebrate Sam Sharp, who rose from bondage to become a symbol of moral conviction, proving that liberty begins in the mind. We revere Marcus Garvey, whose vision of black pride and self-reliance gave us confidence in our own worth as a people. We salute Norman Manley, who believed that discipline and education were the foundations of progress. And we honor Sir Alexander Bustamante, whose fearless advocacy for workers' rights and national independence ensured that our nation was built on justice and dignity for every citizen. Together, these heroes represent the spirit in which Jamaica was forged with courage, faith, intellect, sacrifice, and love of country. They lived in different eras and faced different struggles, but all shared one conviction, that our people were destined to be free and prosperous. Our heritage is not something locked away in the pages of history. It is a living call, a charge to each of us to carry forward the values of discipline, hard work, respect, and love for one another. Our forebears fought so that we could live purposefully, and we must guard our freedom with great vigilance and commitment. If we are to honor the legacy of our heroes, we must return to the principles that made us who we are: respect for law, reverence for God, and pride in honest work. The theme this year, celebrating a proud and bold heritage, calls on us to be faithful heirs to a story written in courage. Jamaica's history is the story of a people who refused to remain shackled, who faced adversity, but who carved out freedom through sheer will. Our ancestors built Jamaica with their very own hands, and we must continue to do the same, even as we leverage innovation and intellect. That is why we continue to strengthen our economy, expand opportunities in housing, education, and technology, and prepare our young people to thrive in the global economy. But the greatest work lies not in the infrastructure we build, but in our character. It lies in teaching our youth that patriotism is a lifestyle, that to love Jamaica is to serve her with excellence, to protect her from harm, and to lift her name with pride wherever we go. So today, as we pay tribute to our national heroes, let us also honor the living heroes among us, the teachers who shape minds, the nurses who heal with compassion, the farmers who till the soil, our athletes who give us so much pride, the police and soldiers who keep us safe, and every Jamaican who rises each morning to do an honest day's work. You too are the continuation of that proud heritage. The world around us may shift and change, but Jamaica's destiny will always rest in our own hands. If we labor with purpose, stand united in spirit, and hold fast to our values, there is no mountain we cannot climb and no dream beyond our reach. My fellow Jamaicans, let us celebrate our proud and bold heritage not only by looking back with gratitude, but by moving forward with purpose. May we live each day as an ode to those who came before us. May our daily actions and choices become a tribute, honoring the sacrifices, struggles, and contributions of our national heroes. As you go about your daily activities this Heroes Day, I encourage you to make safety and security a priority. Be safe on the roads. Avoid activities that could put your safety at risk. And look out for one another, especially for those who might be struggling emotionally or otherwise. I use this opportunity to remind Jamaicans that you are stronger than you know. Who you are and the ideas you have matter. Let us together build on the foundation laid by our national heroes and continue moving forward in faith and conviction. God bless you, and God bless Jamaica, land we love.
We now turn the pages for another message. This time, the leader of the opposition, Mr. Mark Golding, pays tribute to our national heroes and encourages Jamaicans whose acts of kindness and resilience is making the country a better place.
Greetings, Jamaica. On National Heroes Day, we celebrate and express gratitude to our 6 national heroes and our heroine who transformed struggle into triumph and dreams into nationhood. Through their courage and sacrifice, They laid the foundation for a Jamaica where our aspirations are for freedom rooted in justice, progress forged in unity, and leadership grounded in service. These are the towering figures of our history, on whose shoulders we stand. They inspire us to strive for a Jamaica worthy of their legacy. The strength, determination, and courage of our national heroes are a guiding light as we navigate the challenges of today. They remind us that every generation must continue the struggle for justice, equality, and opportunity. And in doing so, we draw on the memories of the Right Excellent Nanny of the Maroons, who fought fearlessly to liberate her people and was the first insurgent military leader to defeat the British colonial forces in battle. The Right Excellent Samuel Sharp, who provided a guiding light to the world as to the power of peaceful protest in securing fundamental rights and freedoms, and gave his life to end the cruelty of slavery in Jamaica and across the British Empire. The Right Excellent Paul Bogle, who led our people and was martyred in the major post-emancipation fight against an oppressive system and laws, but only after having done everything he could to advocate for change by peaceful means. The Right Excellent George William Gordon, who advocated boldly for justice in support of the people's cause in that struggle, and paid the ultimate price and was martyred for standing up for the people. The Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who awakened a global movement of black pride and unity, and whose philosophy and teachings remain a source of self-belief and inner strength that we must draw on today. The Right Excellent Sir Alexander Bustamante, who championed the cause of the workers and then dedicated his life to political leadership of the people. And the Right Excellent Norman Washington Manley, the brilliant architect of our constitutional democracy and national development, who laid the path to self-governance and then political independence for Jamaica. I continue to advocate for the expansion of this list of heroic Jamaicans by the addition of Robert Mester Marley, Bob Marley, whose music and message have internationalized Jamaica's culture and brand and provide inspiration to people struggling against oppression across the world. And Louise Bennett Coverley, Miss Lou, whose poetry and performances in the Jamaican language have provided self-affirmation of who we are as a people and uplifted our national confidence and consciousness. This National Heroes Day, I also wish to pay tribute to those Jamaicans who on the 3rd of September 2025 exercised their sacred right to vote without indulging in the malignant influence of money or other corrupt influences. In exercising your choice based on your belief and conscience, you embrace the very ideals that our national heroes fought to secure. Your honest participation demonstrated your commitment to shaping Jamaica's future and reaffirmed that the spirit of our ancestors endures in our people. I also want to pay tribute to the many unsung heroes among us, Jamaicans who through simple daily acts of kindness and resilience make our country a better place for us all. When we lend a helping hand to someone in need or demonstrate the strength and ingenuity to overcome perilous situations, we are modern examples of the spirit of heroism that keeps our nation's light shining brightly as a beacon of hope. Such acts remind us that courage is not only found on battlefields or in history books, but in the daily choices we make to uplift one another in our shared humanity. Yet even as we celebrate the greatness of our heroes, we must also recognize the recent tragic loss of lives through violence and suicide. In the face of these challenges, let us choose empathy over anger, unity over division, and hope over despair. Let us stand together as one people, united in purpose, bound together in our love for our country, and determined to build a Jamaica where peace, equality, and opportunity become realities for all. That is the Jamaica our heroes dreamed of, and the Jamaica we must continue to create together. Happy National Heroes Day, Jamaica. God bless us. Jamaica, land we love.
Creators Challenge is back. What's unique about my parish, Salt River, every Saturday morning?
It's the heartbeat of Jamaica, one capital city.
What do I like about Manchester? It's always so cool.
What do you think about St. Thomas? What do you think about one Paul Bogle?
Now it's your turn. Create a video 1 minute or less under the theme, My Parish, My Pride.
Show with the history, the landmarks, the people, the food, anything that's unique to your parish.
Upload your entries to Instagram or TikTok and tag JIS Voice by October 31st.
Follow us on all our platforms for more details on how to enter and the prizes to be won.
Your parish, your story, your pride.
We are upon. Join the JIS Creators Challenge today.
The selfless deeds of Jamaica's 7 national heroes provide inspiration for us to take actions that can build a fair and just society for all. In this realm, our next page reflects on the life and work of 2 of those national heroes, George William Gordon and Paul Bogle.
George William Gordon, now Right Excellent George William Gordon, national hero, was born in 1815, the son of a Scottish father and an enslaved Jamaican mother. He got a call to make the world a better place, and for that he was never forgiven. You should know then that conditions in Jamaica then were just unbelievable. People were suffering. 311,000 persons in 1838 enslaved, received their freedom and were just thrown outside. And what George William Gordon did, he bought lands and he cut up the lands and allowed the poor, the dispossessed to have access to the land. And his colleagues did not like that. He chastised the governor in meetings right at the space that the governor needed to do more for the people. And the governor didn't like it, called him a mischief maker. And this is the space where George William Gordon came to, as it were, give up himself because he heard they were looking for him. And from here, he was taken to St. Thomas, where he was tried and hanged on the 23rd of October, 1865. And he reached the Friday, and they hanged him the Monday morning. But before he was hanged, he asked for permission to write a letter to his dear wife, Lucy. He had married this lady, Shannon, Lucy Shannon. He married her, and he asked that he could write a letter, and they allowed him to write the letter. That would have been Sunday night, early Monday morning. He wrote the letter to say that he was innocent. And if anything that he did that was bad, was to help poor people.
Born in Stony Gut, St. Thomas in the 1820s, he suffered as a slave. He toiled in the hot sun working and praying for the day he could say, "Yes, freedom come." And when that day came, the day he was free, the plan of becoming fully independent was his next feat. One he accomplished, small farmer, then landowner, to being one of 106 persons on the voters list, he was well on his way. So much so, he became a Baptist deacon in the village, a true Jamaican activist, angered by the injustices and oppression faced by the people in St. Thomas by one Governor Edward Eyre. So, he gathered his people and marched onward they did, Left, right on October 11, 1865, the day of the Morant Bay Rebellion. Over 500 people died, but not in vain. That special day spurred changes in the social and economic conditions of people not only in St. Thomas, but the entire Jamaica. The Right Excellent Paul Bogle, the man who lived and died for his people on October 24, 1865. A man of honor, a man of truth, our national hero.
Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government-issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
In celebration of October's Heritage Month, we want to draw your attention to a centuries-old structural edifice of the Baptist Church, now a National Heritage Site due to its position in the movement for justice and freedom.
It was our own national hero, the Right Excellent Sam Sharp, an enslaved man and a freedom fighter who said, "I would rather die upon yonder gallows than live in slavery." That sentiment was also shared by many other slaves. But the fight for freedom and the hope for victory brought liberation to many. Right here in Jamaica, the movement to end slavery was very active, and landmarks across the island document this part of our history.
We are on the Emancipation Trail, and we're looking at the symbolic parts of Jamaica which relate to emancipation, a very important change of status in our country. We're here in the Phillippo Baptist Church compound in Spanish Town. Spanish Town is a very old city, founded in 1539, I believe, and this particular site was where the Baptists created a congregation in 1818. And this church, built by the Baptists at the time of Reverend Phillippo, was part of the congregation that was very supportive of the move to emancipate all enslavement. And that is a magnificent building going back probably close to 200 years. This church is very historic. Right here, under this tamarind tree, and identified by this plaque, is the slave chains which were buried on August the 1st, 1838. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Deacon Ivan O'Connor, a member of this congregation, who is going to tell us some more about this very historic site and its relationship to emancipation.
I understand that part of the Declaration of Emancipation was read from the steps of this church. And a deep hole was dug right here, and all the chains that were available were put in there and covered. And a tamarind tree was put there as a monument. I understand that the first tamarind tree was destroyed by the 51 hurricane, but it was replaced. And it stands here now as a monument where people can come and get tamarind and remember the slavery chains.
And touch the monument
right.
as part of our experience.
Right, it is here
of
as a
what
reminder.
emancipation was all about.
Right.
But I also think we have to remind ourselves that the original official declaration was read from the steps of King's House,
That's
the facade which is still in front of the square.
That square is Emancipation Square, which is also in Spanish Town and just a few meters away from the Phillippo Baptist Church. Here was once the town center. Other important buildings in the square include the Old House of Assembly, Rodney's Memorial, and the Old Courthouse. The area was severely damaged by fire as well as the 1692 earthquake, but parts of the buildings have since been restored and put to use. Back over at the Phillippo Baptist Church,
we want to reaffirm how important the Baptist movement and denomination was to emancipation. They were major players in persuading the English government to declare free at last, emancipation on the 1st of August, 1838.
And it is believed that the chains of slaves were buried at the Phillippo Baptist Church due to its close proximity to Emancipation Square and the unrelenting movement by the Baptist Church to put an end to slavery.
Somebody said some time ago, how can we write the history of Jamaica without including the Baptists? The Baptists were one of the churches that were very integral to the teaching of the slaves and emancipation. James Phillippo was one of the persons who was integral in getting emancipation for the slaves in Jamaica.
While emancipation was declared for slaves, their conditions were not improved. So the movement for a more just society was challenged by Paul Bogle and George William Gordon. They were also part of the Baptist movement and later became two of our national heroes. As a result of this involvement, Baptist work in Jamaica became an enduring symbol of the church's opposition to slavery and all other forms of injustice.
This building was put up sometime about 1827 thereabout and has been maintained over time. It's a natural heritage site, and so the National Heritage Trust has control over what happens here. Right after emancipation, James Phillippo established free villages like in Sligoville, in parts of Clarendon, and also established churches. So this church is steeped in our history in Jamaica.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Thank you so much for watching. Do join us again tomorrow when we'll bring another informative program. In the meantime, visit our website at jis.gov.jm for more news and features that you can use. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.